Hello, fellow AstroFluxers. The Sen here. How are you all doing today? I hope you're doing great. In today's video are my third installment to Art Ramblings. I'd like to discuss all resists, all resist hybrids, and conversion arts. All resists are one of the most sought after artifact in the game to get a 75% all resist on one art. It is extremely hard to find one, and it took me over a year and a half to find my first one. I lived with a 68% all resist for a very long time because that was the best I could do, and finding one pre-Fulzer means that you would have to stick around in Sarkinen and kill Dreadnoughts, or you can go to Synapsin and kill Cleaner. Both of those have a high chance of dropping a high all resist, but you're not going to find a 75%er in there. You're going to get in the high 50s, low 60s, and when it's done upgrading, it could be somewhere around the 70ish range. Some of them might even go past 75, but it's very rare. 75% all resist. I've seen them drop in Fulzer, from Regis, from Executor, and now I am starting to see them drop in Force Ran from the elite enemies there. And my resists, I ran with this one for a long time. I upgraded it. It wasn't exactly 75% when I started to upgrade it. I think it was like 74, but it upgraded to 82.7. And the number in the parentheses is just your protection against an enemy using a resistance against you. Like a skirmisher uses light wave generator, it hits you and reduces your energy resistance. The number in the parentheses is my protection against that weapon's resistance against me. So when you guys are looking for all resist, I want you to keep in mind that you do not have to have one art that has all resist on it, that has 75% all resist on it. You can have 2 to 3 arts that all have all resist as long as it reaches a high percentage. You don't have to run 75% all resist. And I would say the majority of the players in this game probably don't run a 75% all resist all the time. Hybrid all resist are what I want to talk about. And they are a combination where you can do 2 arts and achieve tons of stuff with them. And I don't know if I have any good examples, but I just kind of want to show you what I'm talking about. So let's just go to this art right here. I'll put this art in my art stats, and it's at 25.4% resist. Now, if I wanted to cap this, I'm going to need 50% all resist. So let's just go upwards from here. I got a 45 there. I got a 50 there. Let's just go ahead and put that on, just so you can understand what I'm going after here. I only wanted to see if I could get to this cap in 2 arts, but look at all of the stuff that I came along with these arts. I've got 1700 shield, 102% health, 80% armor. I've got these 3 lines of damage and then another flat damage at the bottom. And that's because I combined 2 all resists with all these stats on it. So now I'm hitting this wonderful magic number of this cap right here, and I got a little bit of protection in the parentheses. So when you're going through and you're looking at arts, it's extremely important to not dismiss these arts that have all resist on them, but they're not max. They're not at that magic number of 75%. And you don't want to get rid of those arts. You want to keep them because they could have a nice combination somewhere in there. And it looks like I haven't really kept that many. I've got a 20% all resist in there, and it looks like a 15% there. But I want you to see how I've kept them, because you can see it on the art. Like this one has 38% attack speed with corrosive damage, 6.5% all resist with 22% energy damage. This is not a very high resist art, but at some point I might be short when I combine two arts together to get this 75. I could plop this puppy on there and go to that cap, so I get that full resist. And that's what I'm talking about with these hybrids, because this is such a weird subject to talk about, because every art is different. You never know what you're going to get, and you never want to throw away, or recycle I should say, an all resist that has potential. And these arts have potential. It's just they don't have potential by themselves, but used with another art, like these two used together, have all of this combined, and it's only two arts. Now I have 3 slots to mess around with. I can throw in my rate of fires to create more damage. I could put in more damage. I could put in shield. I could put in health. I could do all kinds of stuff, and I have 3 slots to do it with, added on top of all of this. So it's when you're building your art setups, I like to start with all resists first. And one way to do that is to throw 2 arts, like I just did, on here and see what you get. And of course, you might have more than me. I don't have that many. I think I stop about right here, and that's it. And then these up here are all sort of just, that they're high resists with other stuff on them. And like you want to find these arts, you want to keep these arts, you want to covet these arts. And all resist, for me, what happened is after I found my magic all resist, I stopped keeping them. And really that was a mistake. I should have kept keeping them, because you can really do a nice build with hybrid all resists. The next item on the list, I want to talk about conversion arts. And conversion arts are a strange thing to think about for a new player. And as you start to use them, you'll start to really understand what's going on. So, what is a conversion art? A conversion art is an art that takes a percentage of the structural hardener is a shield to HP. It's taking a percentage of your shield and is converting it to 150% HP. And a lot of them are just single lines, and all they do is convert shield and HP. And those are actually, in my mind, a waste of space. Just get rid of the single line shield to whatever. It's going to take up one whole slot in your art setup, and all it's going to do is convert. You want to find hybrids of those, like the one that's on my screen. And what's so important about the one that's on my screen is it's not great, but I just want to show you an example of this. Is that 68.8% shield is being calculated before the conversion happens. So it's applying 68% shield to my ship, and then the conversion happens. And that's the important factor. So if you can find an art like this, it's a great combination. And the only problem with these arts that I'm showing you right here in these top two is that that's 100% shield. Let's see if I can't find a setup, or maybe I'll just show you here what I mean. Why do I not like 100%? Why? Well, let's look at my shield down here. My shield is right here on my screen on the bottom is only 503, and my health is 86,000. That's because it converted. Let's go back. Let's do my original numbers here. Originally I had 29,000 and 12,000 health. But if we go back and just put in this conversion, this 100%, it's converting, it's adding 68% to my shield, and then it's converting 100% of that, and now I'm left over with just 500 shield. Why is that a bad number? Well, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you get hurt, let's see, I don't want to kill myself here, and now let's just say I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I just had a run-in with something that hurt me, and I don't want to die out there because something else might run along and hurt me. If I press F, it's only going to take half of that shield, so it's only going to take 250, because if we come up here to F, it uses 50% of my current shield, and it converts it by repairing my ship with a 400%. So it's taking 250 of my shield and converting it to my health, right? So if I press F again, see how long it's going to take me to get my health back to normal by healing myself like this? I could sit here for 2 minutes easily and probably getting be shot at, who knows, trying to heal myself. And this is why I don't like 100%. They do work. I mean, you can obviously drop some eggs and heal yourself with some of those mutated chicken eggs, but a lot of times I don't have those, or it's a new ship, or I just don't think about them, and you're stuck doing it this way. And look, I'm still trying to heal myself, and it's taking half of my shield and converting. I'm still not even to max health yet. I've done this 8 times now. I've lost count, and I'm still not there. I'm just going to pull into the safe zone. That is why I don't like this 100%. So if we come down the line, let's find something a little less. This is a good one. This art has 95.2% shield and then negative 90% shield to 150% HP. These kind of arts are perfect because I don't want that negative shield to go over 90, and it went over by 0.5. I'm okay with that. And if we pull out, you can see down at the bottom my shield is at 5,000 and my health is at 90,000. So if I hurt myself here, let's get some of that off. Let's let the shield regen. Now when I press F, I've got 5,000 shield to play with and not 500. So if I press F, look at how big my health jumped up. I can heal myself so much faster this way with more shield. And when you're messing with these, especially the shield conversion arts, that's what you want to look for. I mean, I have these 100%ers and I've learned to deal with them, but really I want something like this. Some of the values that you want to look for is damage, like the one on my screen right now. I have 65% energy damage with 90% shield to HP, and the 14% corrosive is just a bonus. I found this art from a Vindicator the other day, and it's one of those awesome arts. It's like, whoa, look at this. And it's got a ton of shield on it. It's the highest for sure for me, because this one is only 95%. But this one's 121%. Plus it has maximum power, 3000 flat shield, and then I've got a conversion on it. And these are the types of arts you need to start looking for and really figuring out what could be a better conversion. What art could I use for a better conversion? Alright, so we're talking about oversized structural hardeners, which are, they take a shield and they put it into HP. And this is what I would say the majority of PvE users would use. If you're into PvP, domination, deathmatch, you're probably leaning more towards a shield regen build. I could be wrong, but it seems like that's the trend nowadays. And that's when you want to do the flip-flop of instead of doing shield to HP, you're doing HP to shield. So you would use, I don't have any of these upgraded except for this one, and that has to do with that's actually shield to HP. So I don't have any of these HP shields done because I don't have a need for it for right now, and I might in the future. But it's basically just the opposite. You want to get health, and then you want it to convert. So instead of putting shield on first, now you want to put health on first, because the art on the screen is going to calculate that 36% health and then do the conversion. So again, I'm at 12,000 health and 29,000 shield. Let's go ahead and just plop one of these on here. Preferably one that had, like this one. Is that a good one? Let's find out. Now I'm running 67,000 shield and only 3,000 health, and that's because of the way it converted everything. So these conversion arts are extremely important, and they help with ships later on in the game. So the base stats of this ship is around 30,000 shield, around 12,000 health. I have 500,000 troons, so it's kind of skewing that number a little bit right now. But for the most part, you can see it's more of like what some people like to call it, a glass cannon. Now, these conversion arts, they're extremely important to use. So if I just go to a normal setup for this, I have arranged my arts in a way so that it does this. So I threw my rate of fire on there, and this is a hybrid rate of fire art, and it's got the energy damage on there. And then I've got my shield conversion. I'm doing 81% energy damage with 68% shield to HP. And then I'm throwing a whole bunch of shield with another art with some energy damage, because that shield, like I said, is going to calculate before the conversion. And then I've got my 75% all resist. So when I leave this safe zone, I'll have 24,000 shield and 90,000 HP, and the ship goes from a glass cannon to a semi-tank. Now I can go out and do some massive damage and still have some HP and some shield to defend myself.